Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigger Than Race, exposure to all things truth, whether you like it or not, with unique perspectives from different beings from all walks of life. This is Bigger Than Race. Investigate truth on your own terms. Welcome back to Bigger Than Race. You know who this is. This is your boy, Brando. Ladies and gentlemen, Patreon members, I appreciate you. But today, this video is very powerful. I want to take you down the rabbit hole of Aniomoca brands, which encompasses several different projects and different tokens. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know that I bring a lot of different coins and tokens. But guys, I understand that everybody is not able to get everything because we're all in different places in our lives. Our portfolios are at all different stages. What may be right for me may not be right for you, and so on and so forth. But I have to bring this to your attention because I wouldn't be me if I couldn't, if I didn't. It wouldn't sit right. Ladies and gentlemen, all I want to do is take you to the promised land. And if you take that journey, you will benefit on the coming rise of these different assets this year. So will you come with me down the Aniomoca brands and all its splendor journey? Let's go. This is where we're going, ladies and gentlemen, to the mountaintop.
All we say to America is be true to what you said on paper. If I lived in China or even Russia or any totalitarian country, maybe I could understand some of these illegal injunctions. Maybe I could understand the denial of certain basic First Amendment privileges because they haven't committed themselves to that over there. But somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. But it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
Ladies and gentlemen, the promised land awaits. Are you ready? Aniomoca brands. top dog in all of the NFT crypto world. Aniomoca Brands! Ladies and gentlemen, one of the most bullish companies in this space. And where you're going to make the money is in these obscure unicorn companies, these unicorn assets, these ones that many people don't know of. But the herd will be shifted towards these assets in their ecosystems. Because in order to shift the world, you have to shift them into things they're used to. And millions and billions of people across the world play video games. There's going to be the new Blockbuster, the new GameStop. They're going to look different. The new Toy Story. They're going to feel different. But it's going to be the new it. And ladies and gentlemen, everything in this company's portfolio, anything they're behind, somewhere in it has that it. And sometimes it takes a little time for you to realize it. But if you trust what they are doing, you would understand that these types of companies wouldn't waste their money on just anything or anybody. It is a sound investment. The global leader in branded blockchain gaming. Aniomoca Corporation Limited, founded January 2014 by Yatsuyu and David Kim. Aniomoca brand is the developer and publisher of a broad portfolio of blockchain games, traditional games, and other products, many of which are based on popular global brands, including Formula One, Marvel, WWE, Power Rangers, MotoGP, and Doraemon. Aniomoca Brands is also a prolific investor with more than 65 plus investments in NFT-related blockchain companies, including Sky Mavis, Axie Infinity, Dapper Labs, CryptoKitties, NBA Top Shot, OpenSea, Harmony, Bitski, Alien Worlds, Wax, and the list goes on. The mission, Aniomoca Brands' mission is to deliver digital property rights to 2.7 billion gamers, thereby creating a new asset class, enabling play-to-earn economies, and creating a more equitable digital frame. Axie Infinity is the most popular game in blockchain. Axie, you can earn about $600 a month playing that game. Now, Aniomoca Brands is headquartered in Hong Kong with offices and subsidiaries in the United States, Argentina, South Korea, Finland, Estonia, France, Germany, Australia, and Czech Republic. The principal products, and this is not a complete list. We're going to go over these later on. But the original is the Sandbox, Crazy Kings, Crazy Defense Heroes, the GMEE, a Chronoblade, and Benji Bananas. They're fungible tokens: Rev, Sand, GMEE, Tower, Lim, and LMT. Now, guys, I want to take you to a recent video where the founder, CEO, Yat, was on Bloomberg talking about the bullishness of Aniomoca Brands' raised capital of $50 million in recent funding round. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is bullish. And I want you to pay attention to what they're actually doing, because they told you right here. Pay attention to this. This is why I'm very bullish on this and why you hear me constantly speaking about them. Aniomoca Brands' mission is to deliver digital property rights to 2.7 billion gamers. That is the entire gamers in the world, thereby creating a new asset class, enabling play-to-earn economies, which is these micropayments. This is why UBI is important, because they want to switch people over to earning in different ways, just like we're doing. But we're earning on a bigger scale because we're a part of the infrastructure. We're investing in the pipeline. We're investing in the freeways. And we're also investing in these toll booths, which are these nodes. Sherry, shout out to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest highway of them all. 2.7 billion with a B. Let's go.
If you could clarify for us, because we're looking at two numbers here, 140 million and 50 million. 50 should be part of 140. So how much did you raise exactly?
So to be precise, we raised $138 million US in two tranches. One of them was $88 million and the other one was $50 million. They're basically a couple of weeks apart. And the number itself that we raised was also intentionally symbolic, given the fact that we're sort of a company based in this part of the world.
And the number that they are talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is this right here. Aniomoca Brands raises $88,888,888. And we're going to go in a little in depth on an angel number and its meanings.
Right. Okay. And how long do you think that money's going to last you?
Well, the company in and of itself didn't really need any capital for the raise. It was strategic to support things like acquisitions and other sort of transactions. So, as a business that is already generating cash flow by itself, we didn't need it for operations. So it's really for growth purposes. So basically, we can continue operating even if we didn't raise the money.
Okay. And yet, so, what a turnaround story, right? It was just last year that you guys were ejected from the AXX. They questioned your business model, and now you're talking about potentially getting that unicorn status. And you're attracting many new investors as well, the likes of Samsung, Jack Ma, Razer, Coinbase. Tell us, how did you get here? How did you attract some of these biggest names in technology?
Do you see what I'm talking about? Listen to what they just said and who is backing Aniomoca Brands and why we need to pack our bags. Now, I know I'm very convincing when I say things. But ladies and gentlemen, let me say this. Don't put yourself in a bind. Do what you can. But I'm bullish as hell. Let's go.
Well, I think to understand why these investors came in is that they understood the potential of blockchain and non-fungible tokens, which is that we think of this as sort of as significant a moment as the birth of sort of the internet when it was really starting to emerge as a significant force. That's because non-fungible tokens represent digital property rights. But if you think of it from a macro standpoint, we all live a digital life right now. In fact, our digital life is perhaps more valuable than our physical one. Imagine what happens if you get deplatformed from the likes of a Facebook, or you can't use your WhatsApp. You probably can't conduct business the same way. You probably can't make friendships the same way, except who guides these rules? It's actually controlled by the platforms. We don't own anything. And so non-fungible tokens and blockchain decentralize that and give ownership rights back to the end users. And there's a way for us to take control of our digital life. And that is, the big concept here, because we think the whole world will be using NFTs and will be on decentralized platforms through blockchain. This is to us Web3. Web3 is basically the new internet.
The whole concept of NFT still blows my mind yet, Sue. And I think there's still a lot of people out there that say, look, this is just a fake bubble asset. This was created by low interest rates, abundant cash everywhere. What do you say to those critics as well? And do you think that there's a little bit more recognition of this now when you pitch to investors? Is there less education to do?
Well, I think the most important thing is that, as humans, we have very different concepts around sort of the idea of value and beauty and art and culture. And if you think about all of that, that actually happens through our imagination, our mind as well. And when you think about non-fungible tokens, it's really the same thing. We give it utility. We use these assets just as we do in the real world, except in this case, it's for instance, in the game. What is art? Why is a Picasso as valuable as it is? It's not the paint that makes it valuable, right? Why do we have special relationship with physical objects? Like our wedding rings, for instance. Wedding rings are valuable to the owners of the rings, but and maybe priceless even, but not valuable to other people out there. So we have these relationships in the physical world, and now we can finally have them in the digital world. And I think there is a little bit of a generation gap going on as well. I mean, if you ask your children, what would you like to have for your birthday? Do they want something physical? Chances are they want to have some sort of virtual currency for their game or a virtual skin inside, because that's their value. Why are clothes from like Gucci or Prada or Hermes as valuable as they are? It's not the material, right? It's a statement you make. And that's what non-fungible tokens represent, and actually much more.
That's the toughest thing for me to wrap my head around. It's like, it's not just a sword in a game. It's a special sword. It's the only sword out there. And I can't wrap my head around it.
I would say it puts you at a... Go ahead. Yeah.
And so I just wanted to add this other point, which is that it's not just the special sword; it's what you do to the sword that matters, right? So you create relationships with the assets, and their history is recorded on blockchain. So maybe you have a shoe that you won a marathon with. That's a valuable shoe, and that's valuable only to you, not to other people, and that's okay. Or maybe if that shoe was owned by a celebrity or an esports champion, right? Then maybe that has value as well. I think what has been distorted a little bit in the NFT narrative is that people look at things like the Beeple or our F1 car and they say, oh, wow, look, it's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they don't understand why. And not everything is going to be a Mona Lisa, right? It doesn't work like that in the real world. It shouldn't work like that in the digital world. But the main thing about NFTs and gaming is that they're yield-generating instruments. Because when you play games, you actually make money from it. So our players are earning incomes. They're basically buying their first homes with the money they're making in those metaverses. So it's really, so the value doesn't come from, it's just a digital asset, it's rare, it's scarce. It's because you can actually use them.
And would that be how, say, just taking a step outside from your role, of course, as someone who heads a company to someone that looks at the industry, would that be the way to differentiate which ones are actually in a bubble or close to a bubble, or something that probably has some sustainable element of value, something that generates yield, generates revenue? And it takes me into a follow-up question, if you could also answer this, please. Cheating in online games, because that's something you do want to address.
Yes, of course. So the first point is that, yes, the utility and the revenue driven from it, we think is the one that have long-term aspect, just like we have in the real world, right? 99% of our physical objects in the real world have a use case, right? And therefore the value is equivalent to that use case. The same will be true in the digital world. And I think it's important to understand that right now, we do use these assets inside games, except who gets the benefit? Only the game studios, right? And all the time we spend, in fact, what's the most scarcest thing we have in our life? It's our time, right? But who mines that time? Who gets the benefit of that data? It's the platforms. We don't get any of that. NFTs represent a way in which you can now actually harvest your own effort, your own time, your own achievements. And then if you want to share it, sell it, or do whatever you want with it, it is yours to do with as you please. Now, on the topic of cheating, because this field is play to earn, which means that you're playing in an online world, just like in the real world, you need to have rules, right? And like if anyone could just steal money, or someone could just rob the bank anytime they wanted to, well, then there's no value to the money that's in the bank, right? So you have to have the same thing in the virtual world. But because of the way systems were vulnerable in the digital world, because there were centralized databases that could be compromised, people can cheat in games. And so how can you actually have real equity when someone basically just goes in and basically just fakes production of assets, right? Or basically superpowers. Yeah.
I wanted to ask you about acquisitions. You were in on a $13 million mid-table round recently. Tell us what kind of targets are you looking at? What size of deals are you looking into too?
Well, first of all, we've made over 65 investments in the non-fungible token space in the last 3 years. So this includes some of the sort of bigger companies you may have heard of, like DAPPT with NBA Top Shot, or OpenSea as a marketplace, or Axie Infinity, which is sort of one of the biggest blockchain games out there and doing incredibly well. And what we're looking for basically is everything that helps grow the NFT ecosystem. We think of this as basically Internet 98.99, right? And which means that if you invest in the smartest people and the best groups that are developing in that space, broadly speaking, we think we will have success that way. But
that is why we're investing in Aniomoca brands, because we're going to have success. Why try to reinvent the wheel? They're the experts. I'm just a smart guy who sees through the bullshit and wants to get to the money. And I want to take you to the promised land.
Also, because we're making such a number of investments, we can also make sure that the ecosystem grows in an open and interoperable way. So it's really important for us to see that, because we don't want centralized platforms to basically control the internet as they do today. And so if you think about what open source did to code, this is what we think NFTs will do to digital assets, make them completely open and interoperable.
Boom. You see it, ladies and gentlemen. You see it. Big dogs in the map. Aniomoca brands. They got everybody behind them. The global leader. Latest announcements. Now I want you to see some of their investment portfolio. Our blockchain / NFT related investments. Now I want you to know they have several other partnerships going on behind the scenes. One that I can see from a distance is Labs Protocol, the real estate NFT blockchain company. And they're also a real world company as well. And we know that because of one of the Patreon members was a chef for it. Shout out to Layton. Now the blockchain NFT related NFTs, Alien Worlds, Atari, Axie Infinity, Binance. I forget what this is. Bitsky, BNV, Brightstar, Chronicles, Concept Art, Crypto Prophecies, Crypto Kitties, CUDOS, Dapper, Decentraland, Experimental, Flow, Harmony, Kiki Trade, Litecoin, Mask, MLB Champions, Naki G, NFT5, OST, OpenSea, Polygon, Splinters, Superlet Farm, Unique, Velos, Versus, Wax, Wild, Xverse, Yield Guild, Porto, Crypto Games, Community Gaming Only. And this is not even all of them. And my voice was getting tired saying all of those. But I just had to show you the bullishness. And this is why I've been so bullish on Wax. Okay? Always. Always, always, always. Now, some of their blockchain projects, REV token. Guys, you remember I brought you REV at 5 cents. REV, I believe, is hovering over around 9 cents. It's down from 60 plus cents. Good time to buy. F1 Delta time. The Sandbox. Ladies and gentlemen, you know I was telling you about this token as well. And also on the downturn that it recently had. But what we have come to find out that the token has rose to 50 cents. Sand token, ladies and gentlemen. Another token that's a sleeper is the GMEE. GMEE. Big time sleeper. Was just recently at 22 cents. Now it's at 13 cents. I think it's a good time to buy. And it's a very low circulating supply. Tower Experiment. Our Tower Experiment involves the creation of a system that attempts to maintain balance and equitability in the F2P game while introducing the value of blockchain features. This is a free-to-play game, including NFTs, DeFi, and governance. To do this, we are going to use one of our most successful franchises, the Crazy Kings game. So this token is hovering at 1.7 cents. And this game, this Tower Experiment is an experiment to see how they can merge the masses over to this particular game. And they're going to do it because they know what they're doing. That's why you have these big companies like Coinbase and all of the rest of them that they named on Bloomberg that are buying into the Aniomoca brand's frequency. Non-fungible token, collectibles, Delta Time, FC Bayern, Ninja Stickers, Bratz, Beast Quest, Crazy Defense, upcoming blockchain projects, Manchester City men's and women's teams, and Melbourne City, Formula E, Here are some of their issued fungible tokens that you can get now. REVV, like we went over, Sand, GMEE, and Tower. I want you to see price of Tower. So we can go down to the mountaintop at 1.8, up 7.97%. Go ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Where was it at? All-time high. About 11 cents. Not bad, not bad. And as everything merges over continuously, we'll start to see continuous growth. And our primary games that they have: Crazy Defense Heroes, Crazy Kings, WWE Undefeated, Power Rangers Legacy, Power Rangers Battle for the Grid, Beast Quest Ultimate, The Addams Family, GMEE, which is an app, Quid, which is a marketplace. These are big things, and these ain't no slouch games. These games are built by the best. Just so you can see, I'm going to show you right here.
Look who we have here.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Coming back to the investment portfolio, these tokens that are here that you can purchase: Atari, ATRI, Chronicle, Crypto Prophecies, CUDOS, DAPPT, Decentraland. I'm going to do a separate video on CUDOS. I already did DAPPT. Flow, Harmony, Litecoin, Mask, OST, Polygon, Wax. Yes. And there's going to be some other tokens coming out as well. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. I just bought some Atari yesterday. I shared the transaction with you. I think Atari has a lot to offer, especially they have these hotel contracts that they're going to be building. And that's going to be pretty sick. They're going to cater it to the gamers. Remember the world we're headed into. We're headed into a digital world where esports is going to be the popular shit. The regular sports is not going to be as popular. It's going to be esports. They're going to cater the world to gamers. That is why this is so big, ladies and gentlemen. Big! Now I want to go into this video. This is Yat Sue talking again, and I'm just clipping out 4 minutes of it. This is a very bullish video here, interview as well. If you believe me, if you trust on all of the things that I tell you, you would know I would never steer you into a wrong place. Ladies and gentlemen, God is my witness. This is one of the best investments. Following this company and making moves into where they are investing in. Because the supply, the circulating supply, this is when you can throw $2,000 into an asset and turn it into $250,000. Sometimes you may not need to know everything. You just got to take the risk. I've been taking you to the promised land. I just want to keep taking you. Let's go.
I think, generally I would say that where we want to focus our space on for the time being is what can we do to deliver mass adoption, right? I mean, because I think that's the part that is missing a little bit for the time being. It's amazing how we have amazing NFT projects that are, now that we're reaching 100,000 plus users in various projects, right? It's like, wow, that's like great, that's amazing, right? But in the gaming world, that's like ho hum, right? Right. It doesn't mean anything, and so we still have a work cut out for us.
And speaking of those 100,000 users a day, that's probably Axie you're referring to, and they're doing some good work with sales. I know they're topping the leaderboard at Crypto Slam there.
Yeah.
What is it going to take to go from 100,000 users a day to 1 million? Like, what does that look like?
Well, I think there's multiple, and I think this is the year which we'll see.
Wow. Okay.
Right? But there's a few ways. I think it won't just be one. It will be sort of a flurry of them, right? And I think it comes from two angles, right? One angle will be going crypto first, right? Kind of like what's happening with Axie Infinity, or even Sandbox. Even though Sandbox is a little different because the game itself isn't out, so the DAUs is not that high. But the people who basically own Sand, basically sort of own NFTs, is now approaching that number as well. But it's more passive because it's about land ownership. So it's a little different, right? But so you have multiple games out there that are sort of moving in that direction. But I think where we believe that there's going to be maybe a broader adoption is actually going to happen from the metaverses that already exist, essentially called a metaverse and a half. Right? These are not truly full metaverses, like existing games that are out there. And they end up basically porting themselves over to sort of true digital ownership, and you end up having a mass movement into the world of blockchain and NFT.
Did you hear what he said? The traditional world gamers, they will port over. This is why interoperability is so important. They will port over to the new digital economy where it's all decentralized. That's the only way. And this is how they're going to do it. This is very bullish. And you have certain key platforms like Ultra, which is going to be the new marketplace for these games, PC games. They're partnered with AMD, Ubisoft.
Almost sort of in a sort of Trojan horse type of way. I think we'll see some of these. Certainly, if we can help it, because that's kind of where we're involved. I mean, we have several games within our stable that have, in total, in aggregate, we represent about 15 million active users. But of course, not on blockchain. And so the whole point is, how can we move them into blockchain? And that's not easy, right? Just because people don't get it, people don't understand it, people, whichever, right? All the issues that we see today about people being skeptical, gamers are sometimes amongst the hardest to convince, right? But we think it's easier because they should theoretically already understand what a digital asset is, at least in theory, right? That's the basis of this. But the thing is, if we can succeed in bringing that in, then those numbers will move very quickly. But of course, it doesn't mean that they just play our game or that Axie Infinity plays only play Axie Infinity. It just opens the market broader and wider as a result. I mean, look at NBA Top Shot. What did that do? NBA Top Shot didn't just create a space for people interested in collecting NBA Top Shots. It just brought that entire community to look at other collectible projects as well.
Yeah, and we experienced that. A lot of our visitors on the site sort of crossed and started collecting other items, other projects.
Right.
So, well, that was awesome. I think this has been a really cool conversation, and I don't want to stretch it out too long, but I'd love to have you on again another time.
Very bullish. Just that short clip there was bullish. Now I want to go back to the 888. Aniomoca brand raises US $88,888,888. Now the spiritual significance behind that. Angel number 888 brings an uplifting message of encouragement from your angels, telling of achievements, success, striving forward, progress, and attainment. It brings a message to stay optimistic and listen to your intuition and inner guidance. Set solid foundations for yourself and your loved ones, as this will ensure your future prosperity. The universe and your angels will always support you, but it is your responsibility to ensure that you put in the appropriate work and effort when and where necessary. You are encouraged to live up to your full potential. Angel number 888 indicates that financial and material abundance is on its way into your life and may be suggesting that you will receive unexpected rewards for past good work, repaid in kind. Angel number 888 tells you that your life purpose is fully supported by the universe. The universe is abundant and generous and wishes to reward you. Great financial prosperity is yours now and in the future. Angel number 888 may also suggest that a phase in your life is about to end and is a sign of forewarning to enable you to prepare yourself and your life accordingly. It may also indicate that you are winding up an emotional career or relationship phase in your life. Never compromise your integrity in an effort to get ahead. Honor your own truths and be true to yourself and your own life path and mission. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. This is big things popping. We got Tower. We got GME. What's the GameStop ticker? Is it GME too? Hold on, let me check this out real quick. Yep, GME. Wow. This could be the damn new GameStop because, oh, you know what? I want to explore this real quick because they have about 80 plus games underneath it. And they're an app. And basically you go and play games to earn money. Micropayments. GMEE. Play games, earn rewards. It's on Android and on Apple. The GMEE token, a fungible ERC20 utility token built on Ethereum. So you can win prizes for completing game missions in our entertainment app with over 80 casual style games, skill-based tournaments across games powered by Game Token, robots of different powers, rarities and stats granting owner reward boost and special game access powered by GMEE Token. What is Game? Game is a high engagement gaming platform where users complete game missions, compete in tournaments, and earn prizes for their activity. Our vision is to create an entertainment platform accessible to anyone, connecting gamers and game creators to recognize and reward gaming skill, effort, and loyalty. Look who they're partnered with: Atari, NASA, Manchester City, and the Guinness of World Records. What the hell kind of game you gonna build with NASA? See, they're on to some deep stuff. They already have some of the biggest companies investing in Aniomoca brands. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to pay close attention to what I'm showing you. Because I don't want you to be the one that says, I wish I would have got some. But only do what you can. I just have to bring you to the promised land. Very bullish. Monthly games, casual style. GMEE token, an essential part of games and entertainment platform strategy, a utility token usable across GMEE games that will reward users' behavior to drive usage in GMEE and therefore the value of the entire platform. 3,180,000 tokens. The total supply of GMEE tokens is 3,180,000,000 tokens, all minted at once. GMEE tokens will be distributed among 6 main groups: company reserve, team advisors, public, pre-sale, marketing, rewards, strategic, private. And that is why GMEE NFTs is developing a non-fungible token system to be integrated with its games platform. This game NFT will be purchasable and upgradable using GMEE tokens. Interested in more details about token allocation and utility? Read the light paper. Yeah, let's see your light paper. I want to see. Okay, public, 5 million. Liquidity pool, community airdrop. Okay. Yeah, so there's not a lot on the market. A couple million. This is why I say you need to get some, because they have a lot of it in other places. Private sales, pre-sales, to the community, to the game, to the team and advisors, company reserve. Big stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Big stuff. Let's see this roadmap. Quarter 2. Quarter 3. bots, NFTs, public pre-sale. Quarter 4, 2021. GMEE rewards. G-bots, first edition. Public sale, beta game launch. 2022. Game parcel light paper. Pre-sale. Bots, full game launch. So the full game of certain. So 2022, let's say 2022, we'll probably see real big time adoption. It's going to happen this year, but by 2022, it's going to be bullish as hell. So, you just buy and hold. Because I don't think we're going to get it any cheaper than where it's at right now. This is at 13 cents. But we went over all of the other gaming tokens. DAPPT is a token. It's under a penny. Tower is at a penny. Sandbox is about 50 cents. Decentraland is about 60-something cents. Got Wax hovering about 13 cents. And Wax's all-time high was at $6. That was with no utility. What else we got? CUDOS, 2 cents. Harmony is at about 11 cents. Ladies and gentlemen, there's just so much bullishness within the gaming sphere. Block V, capacity. Just make sure you got some. I'm not saying you have to have them all, but please make sure you have enough to get you to the promised land. But you'll get there anyways because you've been prepared more ways than one. I appreciate you guys. I love you. You know who this is. This is your boy, Brando. Investigate truth on your own terms.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bigger Than Race, exposure to all things truth, whether you like it or not, with unique perspectives from different beings from all walks of life. This is Bigger Than Race. Investigate truth on your own terms.